ABC 7 News, Chicago's #1 news, with Cheryl Burton, Rob Johnson, weather from Mike Kaplan, and sports with Jeff Blancy. This is ABC 7 News.
They are back on the move today. Holiday travelers are crisscrossing the country. They're returning home after 2 weeks of Christmas and New Year's celebrations. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Chicago officials expected 250,000 people to pass through the city's airports today.
And despite the crowds and the concerns about the Y2K bug, flights have been taking off and landing pretty much as scheduled. Sarah Schulte is live at O'Hare Airport, and she has the very latest on this airport update. Sarah?
Well, Cheryl, what a difference a century makes. At this time last year, this airport was shut down. There were hundreds of stranded passengers because of 21 inches of snow. Well, today is a whole different story thanks to pretty much clear skies throughout the entire country. All good things must come to an end. For most of the 240,000 passengers passing through O'Hare, tomorrow it's back to reality, whether they like it or not.
Got to pay the bills, right? Got to go back to work. It would be nice to stay down there, not have to work, but oh well.
I don't want to go to school. I want to stay in Florida, tan myself up, and have a great time at the Magic Kingdom.
Others were anxious to return home and were more than happy to put up with the hassle of traveling.
I've been on vacation for almost 2 weeks now, and so I'm ready to go back to work. It gets boring. If you're around family too much, you tend to get on each other's nerves.
Speaking of nerves, this busy traveling day was nerve-wracking for many, despite the on-time departure board. The holiday season is just not the same without some traveling nightmare stories.
Terrible. I mean, we were stuck in Omaha for over an hour, and then we got here and missed our flight by 2 minutes, pretty much.
Oh, no.
So we're just kind of hanging out for 4 hours.
It started out at 8 o'clock this morning in California and LA, and we're still here in Chicago at, 8 o'clock, and we're still not home to Milwaukee. But the Badgers won.
That's what counts.
That's all that counts.
Long delays can simply be blamed on overbooking, not Y2K. Although, just because January 1st has come and gone does not mean that O'Hare is home free of the millennium bug.
Today and tomorrow will really be the challenge for us. We'll be able to test our systems again. We are monitoring them. We are standing by, but we feel confident, not complacent, that everything should be fine.
Monique Bond says they're going to be monitoring all their systems throughout the entire week. She also had some advice for passengers who plan on flying out tomorrow morning. She says watch out because it's probably going to be just as busy tomorrow morning here at O'Hare than it was today. Live at O'Hare, Sarah Schulte, ABC 7 News. Rob, back to you.
All right, Sarah, thank you. And as Sarah alluded to briefly, the other big story in Chicago today, the weather. We hit an all-time record high for this date. The thermometer got all the way up to 60 degrees. People got rid of their coats and gloves and headed outside for a day of springtime in January. That's a big change from a year ago when the area was buried by a blizzard. This year, the Lincoln Park Zoo was jammed with happy people watching puzzled polar bears pacing in bewilderment. And at the beach, it was perfect for building sandcastles and even a little barefoot frisbee.
This is not Chicago.
No.
We got somebody else's weather by mistake.
I would take this all the way through, January, February. Yeah.
So would I.
Yeah. I like a white Christmas, and then that's it.
Mike Kaplan will be along in a few minutes to tell us how long this weather is going to last. Here's a hint, not long.
All right, then. It's nearly 48 hours into the new year, and so far, everyone is okay when it comes to Y2K, but that could change tomorrow when Americans get back to business. Some analysts believe Monday will bring the real test for complex computer systems. They say there's still a chance the Y2K bug will bite. So far, though, it appears the bark has been bigger than the bite. Tonight at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, it was business as usual when it opened the first U.S. markets of the millennium by electronic trading. Several Merck staffers remained over the weekend reviewing and testing both operation systems. They also tested utilities at the building. The electronic trading is underway with about 550 people trading. Regular trading begins on the Merck's trading floors tomorrow morning. The Mercantile Exchange has been preparing for Y2K since 1996.
Tomorrow we'll have not only our electronic market up that we started very successfully today at 5:30, but we'll also have all of our floor systems up, our price reporting systems, and then we'll go through a complete clearing cycle tomorrow night. And so we're really excited about that because we've had a really successful testing period, and we're looking forward to tomorrow being a very successful day for us.
City officials say they expect only minor glitches when workers turn on their computers for the very first time after this holiday weekend.
There's software that's very complex, can do 150 different things. That's hard to test for all of those. That may not be running. My guess is for start of business, not just us, but the private sector will be kind of taking a very close look at how things are going, and there will be things that pop up on Monday, probably.
Computer experts say that this is a likely probability because it's still premature to declare victory. 90% of the world's computers haven't been running this weekend, and the only time software fails is when it's used.
During the business week, we expect there will be lots of errors produced by business systems, accounting systems, personnel systems that will need to be dealt with.
And for the stock market, January is prime month because it generally is an indication for the rest of the year. Now, Chicago did experience one Y2K problem. Its Doppler radar system went down for about 5 minutes at midnight, but the system is running once again.
Chicago school officials say there should be no Y2K problems when children return to classes tomorrow. CEO Paul Vallis says building engineers have inspected everything from telephones to utilities in each of the system's 591 school buildings. He says they haven't found any problems. All computer systems are said to be ready, and Vallis says even vendors who supply the schools with everything from food to spare parts are Y2K compliant.
Also tonight, police have spent the day questioning several people about the murder of an 81-year-old woman. Lily Hall's body was found today in a vacant building at 1145 East 76th Street. An autopsy shows she had been beaten to death. Hall was reported missing on Friday, and relatives say she left home to cash a check with a male friend of her daughter's. Well, today the family gathered at Hall's home to comfort each other, and they say they can't imagine anyone who would attack the elderly woman.
I have no idea. No idea at all. None. She's a very trusting person. I know that. But I can't even imagine.
Well, tonight police are looking for Hall's car. It's a navy blue 1995 Chevrolet Corsica. The Illinois license plate number is Z238549.
Elsewhere, 7 people are hospitalized tonight after a car accident on the city's north side. A car apparently skidded through the intersection of Montrose and Greenview and hit another car shortly after 9 o'clock tonight. All 7 victims are in critical condition at 4 different hospitals. Slick roads may have contributed to the accident.
An internet investigation leads to the arrest of a Naperville man accused of soliciting sex from a child. Kane County Sheriff's deputies say 23-year-old Eric Thor Hakala arranged to meet a teenage girl at an Aurora Township skating rink. The girl turned out to be a detective posing as a teen. Sheriff's deputies arrested Hakala today when he showed up at the ice rink.
Briefly, other stories making news tonight. Chicago police are searching for a thief who broke into a West Side home last night. He threatened to kill the 81-year-old woman who lives there and stole $40 and a money order. Police say he entered through a basement window of the home on North Francisco. The Chicago Bulls plan to honor Scottie Pippen tomorrow with a video tribute. This is Pippen's first time back at the United Center since leaving the Bulls organization. And the Latino community kicks off a toy drive to benefit sick children. Several area churches are collecting the toys. They'll be given to children at Cook County Hospital on January 6th, which is Three Kings Day. It's also called Epiphany Day.
Goodwill continues into the new millennium. Well, still ahead for us tonight, a high-speed roadway is a disaster scene after a major pileup.
Plus, the results are in on the big Beanie Baby votes. We'll let you know if retirement is near.
And Chicago's international guests catch a few more highlights before heading home.
A massive pileup on an Autobahn in Germany leaves 2 people dead and 73 others hurt. About 110 vehicles crashed into one another in dense fog. Authorities say visibility was just 30 feet. The first collisions happened just before 11 in the morning in the northbound lanes. It wasn't long before another 60 cars traveling in the other direction got involved in the accident. Damage estimates are about $1 million.
Former Beatle George Harrison is back at home tonight. A spokesperson for a London hospital says the 56-year-old guitarist and singer was discharged last night. He was stabbed in the chest early Thursday as he fought off an intruder in his home near London. The wound collapsed his right lung. His wife was also injured in the scuffle. 33-year-old Michael Abram has been charged with attempted murder. And tomorrow's newspapers will carry the last new Daily Peanuts comic strip. It will feature Snoopy perched on his doghouse in front of a typewriter. He's seen looking over a farewell message from creator Charles Schulz. The 77-year-old was diagnosed with colon cancer in November, so he's decided to retire. Now, the final new Sunday strip will appear in papers on February 13th.
One candidate vying for the White House is expected to get a big boost this week. Texas Governor George W. Bush is expected to receive the endorsement of Elizabeth Dole. Sources close to both politicians say she'll announce her support on Tuesday. Dole's associates hope her endorsement will elevate her chances of becoming Bush's running mate. The next few weeks are critical for presidential hopefuls. The Iowa caucuses convene January 24th. New Hampshire's primary comes just 8 days later on February 1st.
Can you believe this?
Already 2000, and then we got the presidential politics coming up.
Yeah, something else hard to believe. Chicago hit 60 in January. Coming up next for us, Mike Kaplan will let you know if there's more spring-like weather ahead. Plus, Chicago's global guests say goodbye after a whirlwind tour around town.
Also, Peter Jennings covered the world. You won't believe how many people were watching the big New Year's Day broadcast.
And later on in sports, the misery is over for the Bears as the season wraps up at Soldier Field. As the holiday weekend winds to a close, some special visitors are heading home. Dino DiVincenzi is the man who came up with the idea for Chicago to host visitors from every country to begin the new year. Before returning to Italy, though, he said the New Year's gathering was even more wonderful than he'd ever imagined.
We have showed to the whole world it is possible living in peace. It is possible to be friends with different persons, with different social habits, different opinions.
A Millennium guest enjoyed a last day of sightseeing before leaving. They visited the Shedd Aquarium and Chicago's other major museums. Many told us they were especially grateful to the Chicago families who hosted them during their stay here in Chicago.
The voters have spoken. That's the Beanie Baby voters, that is. It turns out the start of the new year will not mark the end for Beanie Babies. Last month, Ty Incorporated announced it would stop making the toys at the end of 1999, but the Oak Brook-based company says it was overwhelmed by fans who wanted more beanies. So Ty conducted an internet vote. 209,763 votes were cast on the company's website. 91% were against retiring the toy. 9% favor taking it off the market. What a shock.
Go figure.
Can you believe that? Can you believe they wanted to bring him back?
Idea?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
You like
so we want to bring Mike back because he's bringing good news.
Geez.
We like that.
Well,
we'll keep you for another day or two.
Past tense? I brought good news. You may not like what I have to say here.
But see, we keep thinking about last year, so nothing could be worse.
We're just getting back to normal. We got to look on the positive side.
Yes, yeah, we were spoiled today, to be sure. January 2nd, sure different this year compared with last year. This time, 365 days ago, we were digging out from 1.5 feet of snow, 30 to 40 mile an hour winds. Today, we basked in record warmth. Yeah, we had a record high today. Mike and the forecasters, the old hit was 58 degrees set back in 1950. We blew right by that this afternoon, made it up to 60 degrees at O'Hare. It only took 2 days for us to post our first record in the year 2000. 36 now, though. A little bit of drizzle out there, kind of a nasty, raw feeling to the air. Winds out of the northeast at 12. High humidity and a rising barometer at 29.89. 37 degrees now in Justice, 38 in Joliet, 35 at Elgin, and also Spring Grove. At the lakefront, 37. Midway has 38 degrees. That coming after a very warm high of 60 degrees. Our current temperature at O'Hare is our low for the day, but that's still above the normal high. 29 and 14 are the typical numbers for this time of year, and you'll see numbers close to those as we head into the week. 60 the record high and minus 16 the record low. All right, it's been a while since we've had to dig out. I know some of the southern suburbs had some lake effect snow last week. Well, all of us have a chance for shovelable snow tomorrow night and Tuesday, and a second chance coming in here on Friday. On the radar right now, there's some rain in the Ohio Valley and Back out here to the west, just beginning to take shape now. Mainly rain in Texas, but there's an area of low pressure coming out of the Four Corners states right here. That's going to tap Gulf moisture, rush in here from the southwest, and bring us first some rain, probably starting around mid-morning tomorrow. I know it's drizzling now, but we're talking about a bona fide rain coming in here tomorrow, so it's going to be damp. Then tomorrow night, I think late at night, we're going to get a changeover from west to east, from rain to snow, and there's enough cold air and enough moisture here for some of that snow to pile up. I think the heaviest amounts will be north and west of Chicago, probably the 2 to 4 inch type of accumulation before everything is done with some snow showers on Tuesday. Tonight, cloudy and cooler, some drizzle, a low of 34. We should stay above freezing. Tomorrow, we'll hope for 44. It'll be breezy and cooler with rain moving in, northeast winds at 10 to 20. Kind of a raw, nasty night tomorrow. The snow will hold off until after rush hour. Windy and chilly, though, with a low of 26 degrees. Off and on, lighter snow on Tuesday with a high of 30. Wednesday looks dry. Thursday night into Friday, the second system moves in. That, too, could pile up another couple of inches before all is said and done. So winter, not ready to give up yet in spite of what we had today.
It's not a foot and a half of snow, though. So
no 18.6 are coming in.
I guess we'll
take it. It's a great way to start the year, though, on 60. All right,
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. If you spent Friday watching ABC's coverage of the year 2000, you were not alone. Nielsen Media Research reports an estimated 175 million viewers saw at least part of the 24-hour coverage of the world welcoming the new year. Peter Jennings anchored a broadcast that began Friday at 3:50 a.m. Chicago time and stretched to 3 a.m. on Saturday, and it was quite a broadcast indeed, wasn't it?
It was excellent, and he was a marathon man. You have
he really
to give
was.
him a lot of
Going
kudos
all over the
goes
world and doing what they did, it was really technologically advanced as well. Yeah.
Brought a lot of new things into the new year. Coming up next for us in sports, the Blackhawks' long season got even longer tonight with another lackluster performance at home.
And later, weeks of work topple to the ground in just minutes, but that's just how they planned it. But first, a holiday greeting.
Hi, my name is Lance Corporal Matthew Muscari from Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. I just want to say happy holidays to all my family out in Chicago. I miss you guys very much, and I love you all.
There's some good news at Soldier Field today. The season's over. It was? The kicker didn't miss any field goals, but the bad news is the Bears are 6-10 in last place.
You have to be optimistic and look for the good things.
We're looking for the
6-10, a lot better than a lot of people thought.
A lot better than last year, too.
A lot better than last year.
Yeah, let's do better next year. Yeah, a lot better last year. It's finally over. The Bears season ends, losing 4 of their last 5 games, out of the playoffs again, and a last-place finish in the Central for the 3rd straight year. Tampa Bay wins the division by beating the Bears today 20-6. Brad Palmer has the finale highlights from Soldier Field.
Cade McNown came bearing gifts. Not everybody kept them, but Donnie Abraham liked his. Cade threw behind Bobby Ingram on this play, but thanks to a clipping penalty, the Bucs were denied a touchdown and had to settle for a field goal.
As I scrambled out to the right, I saw Bobby as that guy came off him, and right as I was throwing it to Bobby, Bobby was looking to, what I thought he was looking to block right as I threw it.
But that's sure not the way it looked. McNown was 0 for 12 on 3rd down, and that included this costly fumble back on his own 14-yard line. Mike Allstott parlayed it into a touchdown, giving the Bucs a 10-0 halftime lead. Bears newcomer Jared Holmes scored the Bears' only points. His field goals of 39 and 31 yards cut the Bucs' lead to 13-6.
When's the last time you kicked a field goal in a game that counted?
Probably about 2 years ago, finishing up Auburn.
The Bear defense began to wilt in the 4th quarter. Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott combined for 144 yards on 38 carries to help control the clock. Sean King's 6-yard pass to Dave Moore made it 20-6, and that was the final. The Bucs beating the Bears for the 5th straight time to win the division title and earn a first-round bye.
Hell yeah, NFC champs, baby.
You guys got it going in the right direction. You're going to make the division really, really tough. Thank you.
We said going in order to be the best, we'd have to beat the best, and we know where we stand. You know, the last 2 weeks has shown us where we stand, and we have a ways to go.
You know, we've had some close games this year. I think that's one of the positive things. You know, a couple more points here and there, a little bit of defense here and there, and you know, I think our record will be a lot different.
We're going to be exciting next year. I mean, I'm you know, I'm really upset about how the things went today. At the same time, I think there's a lot to be encouraged by, and you know, I'm looking guys in the eye in the locker room, and we're already talking about next year because we know we're going to be good. And you know, the key is just not to lose that belief, and I don't think we will.
We'll never know if the weather might have affected the outcome had the temperature been down where it's supposed to be on January 2nd, just like we'll never know what might have happened had the Bears not missed 2 game-winning field goals during the season by this much or less. What we do know is 6-10 is a lot better than 4-12 in the past 2 years. So at least the Bears are headed in the right direction. From Soldier Field, Brad Palmer, ABC 7 News.
All right, thanks, Brad. Now to Minnesota. Lions trying to make a pre-playoff statement, having lost their last 3 in a row. And, well, they got a lucky bounce here off of Herman Moore. Watch it. Caught by Johnny Morton. That tied the game at 7-7. Minnesota pulled away. The Lions may be the worst playoff team to make it this year. Randy Moss blows right by Robert Bailey and then takes a big leap into the end zone for the Vikings. And here's the best part. I like this. This is really neat. Look at Moss go over and hand that little guy a souvenir. The Vikings beat Detroit 24-17. Green Bay needed some help to make the playoffs. First and foremost, they had to beat Arizona. In the third quarter, Basil Mitchell made sure the Packers stayed alive. Following a Cardinals score, Mitchell turns it on, and once he turns the corner, right there, you can forget it. 88 yards of fresh Basil. Packers in a rout over Arizona, 49-24 at Lambeau Field. Now, the Pack then sat back and watched the Dallas Giants game down in the Lone Star State. And ex-Bear factoring in this one, Jeremy Lincoln can't hold on to Jason Tucker. A pass from Troy Aikman turns into a 90-yard pitch and toss to Tucker. Dallas wins 26-18. Green Bay's run of 6 straight playoff appearances comes to an end. So, the playoff picture is now set. 12 teams have qualified for a chance to play in the January 30th Super Bowl down in Atlanta. In the NFC, on Saturday, take a look. Here they are. The Lions play at Washington. Detroit has never won at Washington. And then Sunday, the early game, Dallas plays at Minnesota. St. Louis has the home field throughout the playoffs, and Tampa Bay is the number 2 seed. Meanwhile, over in the AFC, 12:30 next Saturday, Buffalo travels to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Sunday, Miami, who has lost 4 of their last 5, goes to Seattle, who has lost 5 of their last 6. Number 1 seed in the AFC is Jacksonville. The Colts are the number 2 seed. Hockey now. J.P. Dumont was not expected to play tonight against San Jose, but he refused to sit out another game because of a broken toe. Hawks going for their 2nd straight home win, and Dumont didn't let any pain bother him in this one. Early first period. Watch the puck come out here to Sylvain Cote on the rebound, and that Dumont look at this, he whacks it right out of midair. Quickly, it was 1-0 Hawks. Jumping out of the second period, and no one puts a body on Jeff Friesen. And when that happens, this happens. He flips it right past Jocelyn Thibault with a quick wrister as the Hawks get beat 4-1. The Wolves tonight beat Long Beach in a shootout. One more bowl game tonight, Fiesta Bowl, Nebraska, Tennessee, and young Cornheads there. 60 yards of Bobby Newcomb takes the Tennessee punt, streaks past the bundle of white jerseys, and just flat out runs everyone. It was a rout at this point, 14-0 Huskers. Here's the one that turned out to be the game winner. Eric Crouch to Aaron Galladay, 13 yards. Nebraska beats Tennessee 31-21. And finally, don't see it too often, a mix of, I guess there's a little bit of snow in there, but mostly hail out in Scottsdale, Arizona. Didn't stop Phil Mickelson, his choice to finish out on 18, using a wedge and knocking it in for a birdie. Tom Lehman won, but that's one hail of a shot by Phil Mickelson.
Indeed.
Right.
Thanks, Jeff. Alrighty.
Still ahead for us, an incredible display of the Domino effect.
We'll be right back. And finally tonight, some Chinese students set a world record in domino toppling. It took weeks of preparation to get the 2.7 million tiles all lined up, and it took 40 minutes to knock them all down. The whole thing was organized by a group of students at Beijing University. As the dominoes fell, they formed elaborate pictures, including some art masterpieces, as well as Chinese symbols. The students beat the old record by more than 1 million dominoes. Pretty impressive.
Took all that time to go up, and then boom, gone.
What happens if you're the one clumsy guy who inadvertently, the day before,
Oops. Oh, no. I think they have like a safety net to do that.
Do they?
You know, it's not really high tech. It's not like you used to play in your backyard with your buddies.
Oh, yeah. We did a lot of
the answer. Can you believe that?
In my backyard.
All right. That's going to do it for us. I'm Cheryl Burke.
I'm Rob from Mike and Jeff. Good night. See you next weekend.